Above the storm-lashed Southern Ocean, South Georgia Island stands alone against endless wind and waves. On a narrow cliff covered with tussock grass, two wandering albatross families begin the breeding season, each trusting a fragile nest with the future of a single egg. The weather quickly reveals the difference between them. While one nest is built deep and strong enough to withstand the relentless storms, the weaker nest begins to fall apart as violent winds tear away the grass and soil holding it together. When a powerful gust rips the weak nest from the ground, the precious egg rolls helplessly toward the cliff and disappears forever. Witnessing the tragedy, the experienced father strengthens his own nest even further, and together, the parents patiently protect their only egg until, after weeks of endless storms, a tiny crack finally appears in the shell. When a powerful gust rips the weak nest from the ground, the precious egg rolls helplessly toward the cliff and disappears forever. Witnessing the tragedy, the experienced father strengthens his own nest even further, and together, the parents patiently protect their only egg until, after weeks of endless storms, a tiny crack finally appears in the shell. As the weeks pass, the chick grows beneath constant storms, waiting patiently each day for its parents to return from distant feeding grounds. But the ocean becomes less generous, and each visit brings less food than before. In a life or death moment, Ocean Wave used its only weapon, a stream of stomach oil, to force the predator to retreat. But it also witnessed its neighbor's misfortune. From then on, Ocean Wave understood that only by growing up quickly could it continue to survive in this world. Standing at the edge of a 50-meter cliff, the young albatross faces the greatest decision of its life. Far below, powerful tiger sharks patrol the water, waiting beneath the very place where every young bird must make its first flight. Fear battles instinct as powerful winds buffet its growing wings. After several failed attempts to step forward, one perfect gust finally arrives, and the bird launches into empty space. It falls rapidly toward the sea as a tiger shark explodes upward from below, missing by only a few centimeters. Just when death seems certain, the young albatross begins to understand the invisible force beneath its wings. It catches the rising air flowing along the cliffs and slowly transforms a deadly fall into its very first controlled glide. Now safely above the waves, the young albatross begins discovering the true secret of its species. Instead of fighting the wind, it learns to use it, adjusting its wings to harvest invisible currents that rise from the ocean's powerful swells. Some stretches of calm water force exhausting wing beats, teaching the bird that choosing the right path is just as important as strength. Soon it finds a flock of experienced wandering albatrosses and quietly joins them, observing every movement as they travel effortlessly across the Southern Ocean. Following the adults, the young bird practices flying low over the waves, learns how to find lifting air above breaking swells, and begins understanding the skills that will keep it alive during journeys stretching thousands of kilometers across open ocean. There is one remarkable truth about the wandering albatross that few people know. They are not born as master flyers. In fact, the very first flight of every chick is a gamble between life and death, where there is no second chance if they fail. What makes it even more extraordinary is that once a chick leaves the cliff, its parents do not fly alongside it to teach it. No one is there to guide its wings through the sky, and no one will save it if it falls into the sea. Nature gives it only one opportunity, and every skill must be learned through instinct alone. If it survives that first terrifying moment, its entire life changes forever. It no longer lives around the small nest on the island. Instead, it begins journeys spanning thousands, even tens of thousands of kilometers across the vast southern ocean, often spending months without touching land. Scientists have documented wandering albatrosses traveling across the Southern Ocean for days at a time by relying almost entirely on natural wind currents. Unlike many other birds, they rarely need to flap their wings continuously. Instead, they allow the wind itself to carry them, conserving precious energy for extraordinary journeys across multiple oceans. The wandering albatross does not fight the wind. It learns to read it, understand it, and transform even the strongest gusts into its greatest advantage. What seems like the greatest obstacle becomes the very force that allows it to fly farther than almost any other bird on Earth. Perhaps that is the most beautiful lesson nature has to offer us. Life does not always become easier, but we can always become stronger in the face of its challenges. Just like the wandering albatross, what helps us grow is not a sky without storms, but the courage to keep flying through them. So the next time you see an albatross gliding effortlessly above the ocean, remember that behind that peaceful flight lies a story of extraordinary survival, a journey that began as a fragile egg on a storm-battered cliff and ended with a bird becoming a true master of the endless winds of the Southern Ocean.